So I have to apologise, I've been having some technical issues with my phone. We've just brought bale up. We are in a different machine today than normal. This is simply because I've had an issue with the blue this morning. By the sounds of what my husband has told me, and from what I've spoken now to Wilcox, CR Wilcox, which is where we got the tractor from, it's a computer issue. I need someone to plug a computer in. How brilliant is it nowadays that tractors can only be fixed by a computer? So I am using the Merlot today to feed up. Becca's used it this morning to clean out the shed. So I am now just using it to feed my bales because I haven't got anything else. The horses have been moved. So this is one of our, what we classify them as younger heifers that we put out to Dartmoor. They went out Dartmoor this year, so they are outside still at the minute because it's the easiest place to have them. And we do have a couple fields that through the winter we use as out wintering because we don't have enough room in sheds to have everything in. So one of the lovely things that we get to see is our early lambers are all out in the fields now. So we only had 21 of them, but it is lovely to see that they are all out with their lambs now in the grass. Oh, sorry, this gate's a bit tricky. So yes, so we've just got a couple more bales to feed. Dad has gone to take the gator tyres into Wilcox to have them sorted because they've completely cracked. We've been told that apparently it is an ongoing issue that they have with the gators, with the Polaris even, I should say, that the wheels seem to like rip themselves apart. They say it's due to them being at low pressure. But we're pretty good at checking our tyres, especially before we go anywhere for a long time. So we're not quite sure how this has happened, but hey ho. So Dad's going to sort that, and he's also going to see the sheep on his way. I'm feeding bales today. Becca is sorting out the lambing shed, getting the fat lambs were in, getting that all cleaned out, ready for the next bunch to start, because our Scotties have seeming to make a nice move on things now, which is very unusual. Normally they like to drib and drab, but they've done very good. So we've got that, so our next bunch will be starting in a couple of weeks. So she's getting that all sorted and prepared. I've got to take a couple of hogs out to Moorgate, and then we'll have afternoon jobs, so we'll have to just see how we get on today. And yes, for anyone that is wondering, I am 5 months pregnant, so things are taking me a bit longer than usual. I'm not allowed anything to do with the lambing side of it. I've got to stay away. It does make some days very difficult, but one of those things, you just got to do what you can do. So this is an extremely odd day. I've just met a log lorry, and I am not being horrible. I am not trying to make him reverse. He is doing a brilliant job, simply because behind me is a cattle lorry and I am caught in the two of them. So this is a very odd circumstance. I feel like a very small duck between two very big pawns. Okay, all I'm gonna say after that kerfuffle is A.W. Jenkins, you have a driver who is absolutely bloody brilliant. So I was caught between the log lorry that was loaded coming down and a lorry that was actually going up to the neighbours to pick up, I think, cattle, by the sounds of what he's got on board already. Behind him was also two other vans. Behind the log lorry ended up being a tipper trailer for the forestry as well, and another truck. So that log lorry, the piece that he had to actually reverse back, which is between our lane and Grandad's lane, it has a horrible stone that sticks out, and the lorries have to like bounce over it. And he did freaking phenomenal. Like, if people in cars could reverse as he just reversed that lorry, like we wouldn't have a problem. But yeah, so just on the odd chance that AW Jenkins ever listen to this, your drivers, fantastic. I have to admit, I haven't met one yet that in the circumstances they've had to reverse, haven't been able to. They are bloody brilliant. So now that's little kerfuffle's over, I'm going to get these bales off and get back to it. So we are just out stacking some of the hay at the minute. It is meaning, so we got to take it off the pit here, and it's 3 high. We can just about reach, and then we're stacking it up here on the side. Dad had all this stacked here up until that one. I've stacked the 4 here, which unfortunately just don't, something about them I don't like. They look like they're leaning. But I've stacked them up high, so now we've just got to step out as we go, and hopefully that will clear the face, and then Dad can get more silage now. Surprising enough, I'm actually quite happy with that. I don't like those first few bales here on this end by the ladder. The bottom one's too tucked in for me. But actually, I'm not very... I went up to that one there, those 3. I'm actually pretty impressed with that. So, time to swap my implements over again now. So it's a bit of a crazy day. Dad has gone to see sheep. Becca has fed some bales this morning whilst I had the kids. And then she's been sorting out sheep stuff. As you can see, she's over here doing penning because we're getting ready to start running some more in and out. I moved the bales whilst Dad's been away because Mum and Dad are off to a funeral, sadly this afternoon. So yeah. Today, Kaylee? Are you letting the cows in? What'd you say? Come on, ladies! My little helpmate with me today. So I am back on farm, and by that I just mean I have been here for the last couple of days, but I've been in with the kids because Mum has been unfortunately poorly and hasn't been able to look after them. So I've been in to have the kids because I'm not allowed around the sheep. However, today Becca is at home due to bits that she has to do, and she's got a car service and things. So she's got all the kids at her house today, which means I am out and on the farm today. So as you can see, I'm feeling very cold at the minute. I've got my neck scarf on. That's simply because I believe I'm getting over this horrible cold and cough and stuff. So I'm just making sure I stay warm whilst being out and about. But yeah, so it's been a busy couple of days. Dad and Becca have been bringing back the sheep from Morn even. I'll get the right group in a minute. So they've been bringing back the sheep and that, getting them ready to go out into the field because they will soon come lambing. So that's the first bunch because after we took the rams out, we sorted them into their colours and then put them away that way. Whereas I think it was last year or the year before, we had them still in their group, so we had to go to each group and pick out first colour, which for us is yellow. But yeah, so it made it a lot easier this year. Rather than having to pick out the colours, we just had to go pick up the one group. So that was, well, 2 groups, but yeah, much easier. So yeah, Becca and Dad have had a absolutely busy couple days because it's just been the 2 of them on farm, and I've obviously been in with the kids. And yeah, the sheep have been going steady. We've had a few cows calve. So I will try and get round to it and update you with what's going on.
So we are on a very busy day. Yes, they are the child's shoes and leggings. So Dad's gone with fat lambs, Mum is still poorly. I asked Simon to come out with me today. So we've just cleaned out and we've just been putting a few grabs in. So Simon is now finishing off the grabs, and as you can see, he has trouble in the back. So we're just gonna finish up here now, get everything fed, and then we'll have some breakfast. So, of what we thought we were all under control, we were doing really well. Obviously you saw Simon put his first grab in. He went back to get another grab, and he's managed to burst a pipe. So we tried to get another pipe off of the other grabs that don't fit on this one, and they're not long enough. So Dad's gonna go try and find an extension because Dad's just come home with the lorry. So at some point I'm gonna have to run that pipe up and be fixed. The cubicles are nearly finished. I've just got to take a couple grabs in the bucket up to the calves, and then we could let the cubicle cows in. But we're just on a standstill this morning. But other than that, we're doing really well, aren't we? We're doing good? So we have officially started lambing at the weekend on Mother's Day. It was the first day they could start, and as you can see, the pens were very full. Becca's just had another ewe lamb up there. She's got her, don't know if you can quite see, she's got her little trailer that we can put the lambs in to walk them in, save our arms a bit. So I am just here. Dad's just gone with a load of dung. We're just cleaning out the shed here for the cows. Just scraped up the side so that Dad doesn't have to get too close. Safe to say we're not having the best of days. So Dad went to see the sheep out and about at the minute, and on his way back he decided he would come a slightly different way to just check some of our fields and just see how they're coming along, getting ready for obviously the ewes to go out with lambs. And turns out that someone has come along and pinched our gate, as well as the gate the opposite side of the road of fields that we rent. We believe it happened Sunday night, or Monday morning, I guess you could say this morning, about 2 a.m. That's when the people that we rent the field off of, their dog went nuts. So we believe that might have been roughly the time that it happened. But yeah, what is this world coming to, that honest to God, you can't even let your field gateways now? Like, oh fuck it. My strings are entirely That's my problem. Now you can see why this morning the pregnant lady didn't want to get too close to her. She'll work out, yeah. So obviously I haven't been keeping up with the lambing. Becca has been in control of all of that, and it's been keeping her and Dad and Mum fairly busy. These are the last, I think it was 12 of the yellow bums. We're just walking them in now. We walk them into their little pen, so they come in at night, and they're going to go the right way. That's good. So yeah, they come in at night and they go out in the field during the day. So I'm just walking them in because Becca's pushing in. Obviously I can do that. I don't have to touch anything. I just shut the doors up. They're going to go too quick for me now. But yeah. So the lambing has obviously been going pretty well. Touch wood, hug wood, everything. You know, we've had the odd one or two that we've had issues with or anything. But overall, This first bunch that have gone have done very good. Like I said, unfortunately I've been busy with the cows and things and doing other jobs that I can do that I haven't actually been in the lambing shed at all to have any footage of what's going on in there. And Becca's being kept fairly busy. But yeah, so they'll all go in now and hopefully they'll be good for the night. Mum and Dad do the night checks and come out and see them and things, and then if they have any lambs they can easily move them to the shed, to the shipping where the pens are, and then Becca deals with it in the morning. So the morning has already been very, very busy. Mum has had a ewe lamb this morning. Me and Katie saw it as we came in the lane. So Mum headed out to get it. Unfortunately the ewe did not want to be cooperative. Luckily she did have the bike and trailer but had to have Dad's assistance. They split her out in the end and she ran out and in the lane because I left the lane gate open, and they've caught her there in the lane, so they're just taking her in now. So we will crack on with morning jobs, but all in all, time wise we're not doing bad. The sheep are getting on with their lambing, so that's really good. They put the second group in this weekend, which is the green bums, which is just the next colour for like the next 2 weeks it is, and then they'll probably go at some point this week to get the next colour so that we bring them home, so that then they're ready to go in to the lambing field, as we classify it, as Way Park, when they get closer to their date. But yes, we're having a good old busy day. Lambing shed looks full. We'll try and take a swing round there later on and have a glance in again, as I know I haven't done very many glances in the lambing shed at the moment. But for now we're going to get on and we're going to clean out the cows here in the cubicles and get on and feed everything. So I'm just stacking some bales, taking them off the pit and stacking them up. And whilst I turn and pick up a bale from the floor, because I didn't like my stack and I've been restacking, it just all came down. Obviously it doesn't help, the bales that we put up there were put obviously on their round, as you can see, to seal the hole, the gap. So obviously it's just given out. Obviously I didn't get the bales down quick enough, so time to tidy up. And also under there somewhere is a bale, so time to tidy up.